Shut up and sit down.
Alright guys, I'm Dodge, this is Bigmeks Workshop and Paint Studio, and you've joined me for another AK Interactive product review. Now this week we're going to be using the rust streaks. We're going to be applying that to the same model we've been using previously, which we've used chipping fluid on and we've used streaking grime. Now rust streaks, it reacts very similarly to the streaking grime, so the video is not as long as it should be in comparison to the other two, because I don't need to go over everything. This is the model we've previously done, and that's just the streaking grime for yellow tanks. I did leave the other side unmarked so we can use that for this bit of video. Now if you're going to use this, as in all these videos, you're going to need some AK Interactive White Spirit. Just going to take a bit of that, stick it in a shot glass. I'm using a pipette, but the exposure is so high on the video you can't see that, because I've got 3 different lights on my desk. You only need a small amount of that, and when using the white spirits, remember to put your lid back on because it will evaporate really fast. And there's the same with the streaking grime. We're going to just start adding really fine lines. I'm using a really old brush for this because I don't really want to use my Winsor Newtons, as they're pretty new at the moment. Once I've got an old one, I'll start using those again. All I'm really doing is putting on some rough points, and as you can tell compared to the other one, this is much more orangey in comparison to the streaking grime for yellow tanks. So what we're going to do later in this video is we're going to layer that up over the top of the other one. You can see it starts to give a good colour transition and brings them both together. Now I've cleaned my brush off, and all I'm using is a white spirit, so I'm not trying to wash off all of the streaking grime. You're going to get a better result the finer the brush you use with this, guys, but like I said, I didn't want to use my really fine brushes for this. As you can see, I'm just running the white spirit from the left hand side and the right hand side of it, and bringing them in ever so slightly diagonal, and that's going to drag the rust streaks to a fine point. You can go over this as many times as you want to, really. You can just wash it away and put it back on and keep going over and over again. It does work better to let it dry for a few hours before doing this, but we're running out of time to do a Monday, Tuesday video. Now this is a comparison shot, so you can see how much more orange the rust streak is compared to the streaking grime. And you can use all the techniques we used on the streaking grime for the rust streak stuff as well, including, you know, the gritty brushes and the flat edge brushes to drag the streaking grime down. Just gonna rinse and repeat at the moment, and I think this is a better shot than the first one. But you can see how easy you can rub all this away if you're not happy with any of it. I didn't mean to there, I just left a little bit too much white spirit on the brush. As you can see, you can really cut into the effects and make most of it disappear, just leaving a really fine line. Now I'm going to start adding that to the other side, the part we've already done, and you can see how it builds up in colours and transitions and adds more detail. You don't really have to use both, but if you really want to go for a really rusty effect, it's best to mix up these colours and these effects, because it just looks a little bit more natural than it usually would. Well, like I said, you can use your old pound shop brushes to scrape some of this away from the recesses downwards, and you just keep working it in and working it out. It's really simple to use. and that shows up a lot more orange, but because we've got those layers of the streaking grime built into the yellows, it doesn't stand out and look as plain as it does on the top that we previously did. And then just blend those through. I haven't put any extra varnish since I did this. We did a gloss varnish previously after the chipping fluid, but I've not added any more. So as I'm doing this with the streaking grime, it is going to start blending the streaking grime and the rust streaks together. But because the because the streaking grime had already set quite well, it's not going to move as easily. It's actually started to bond to the model, so it's not going to be removed as easily as the rust streaks will. I like using this stuff quite a lot. As a product, it's really simple to use. There's lots of different things you can do with it. I think, you know, as a product, this one's going to get at least 9 out of 10 squigs, because as you can see the result there, nice and easy, adds extra layers of colour and effect to it, and anyone can do this one, guys. So guys, thanks for watching. I hope that helps you with your effects and your rust, and we've got more of these coming out, so hit that subscribe, hit that like button, share with your friends, and we'll catch you in the next one. Thanks for watching, guys.